What to look for in a snagging company. Some of the things we're going to cover today: what questions to ask, what services to consider, why aftercare is really so important, and how reputable is the company that you're actually speaking with. What questions to ask? So, how established or how knowledgeable are they in terms of the services they're offering you? Have they been around for a long time? Is this what they do full time, or is it a little bit something on the side? Are they independent from the developer or the builder of the home that you've actually purchased? Because if they're not, there might be a conflict of interest. And some of the things that we've established, are they actually a startup that have actually bolted on these services because suddenly everyone's a snagging expert? Or is this something that they've been doing over and over again? There are hundreds of these types of snagging reports. It's your job to actually establish their credibility. You're going to have a good feeling whether it is credible or not. What services to consider? So what is actually included in their general or comprehensive snagging report? What you want to make sure is that the bulk of it is actually in there. And then what are the optional extras? So for optional extras, things like thermal imaging reports, and also having a report to tell you how much cavity you've got in the loft, for example. Now, of course, not everything is equal. Just because they're offering thermal imaging as part of their report, if they don't know how to use that, having a camera does not make them an expert. And when discussing prices, are they actually hidden, or are they actually very transparent in terms of what you get, and they're very open to share with you what is actually included? Do they inspire confidence in you that they're going to do a good job for you? Why aftercare is so important? Now, I'm not sure about you, but I don't normally have a snagging report that I read every single day. It's quite new to me. So sometimes when you have questions on the report, because simply maybe the terminology is not something you're familiar with, are you able to go back to them and say to them, you know what, as a numpty or as a newbie, can you explain this particular piece on the report? And how quickly can they produce that report for you? Because once it's actually done, what you're really looking to do is to get that snag report and then fire that over to the developer so that they can actually see that you have been very comprehensive and diligent in terms of pointing out some of the things that they may or may not have missed. And then if the sample reports on the case studies, are they readily available to you? So could you see ahead of time, before you conduct or instruct to have a survey done, what you're actually going to get? It's a bit like this great little gif over here: is if you fell backwards, are they going to catch you, or are they going to let you fall? So what did we cover today? Credibility, confidence, and trust, and also your spidey sense. After you've chatted to a couple of these companies, I would say at least 3 of them, you're going to have a good sense in terms of are they very open and very trustworthy for you? You know, do they inspire you to actually employ them to get this service done? So in summary, well, I came across a guy called Ian Lively, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's an housing and snagging survey expert. And what I found was that he had a great checklist, a checklist that I just followed in terms of some of the questions that I asked. And what I found it really useful was that he was approaching as a concern as a new customer versus someone basically offering to buy my services. I'll include the link down below, but here's a pop quiz question for you. When I picked up the phone and I spoke to Ian, here's the handsome Ian over there, what I found out was that he was actually out of my catchment area. That is, he couldn't serve me. So even though everything was great, it's not something he could offer me because I'm just too far away. And you know what actually happened next? Well, typically, isn't that when the call actually ends and say, sorry, I can't help you, see you later? But that wasn't Ian. Instead, he answered all my questions, he provided recommendations, and he directed me a guy called Dean Taylor. Now, who's Dean Taylor? Dean Taylor operates or provides service on Facebook called the New Build Snagging Group. Guess what it's all about? That's right, new builds and snagging. So what I did was I had a chat with Dean and also posted my question into that group. So here's the big message or the take. So when was the last time that you received excellent customer service from a provider when it was given freely without a hidden agenda? And that's what I received from Ian. Again, you might want to just reach out to him and see how you get on with Ian. One last thing, make sure you do your due diligence. Also, why don't you join the actual group, have a look at some of the frequently common questions that people ask in the actual group, and Dean was really, really open and independent in terms of what he thought was actually useful. And again, I can only share with you, although I didn't use Ian because he was out of my catchment area, he was a super knowledgeable guy, and I would have no hesitation, had he been in my area, to actually employ him. And lastly, Let me know how you got on with this video. Do post a comment down below. I wanted to create something that was maybe useful for you, to help you sort of go in the right directions of your own research. And as always, do let me know if there was a particular slide that connected with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. See you later, guys. Bye.